Hello everyone, welcome back to our deep dive into DACOBS, the tool that helps you understand the biases and limitations in your cognition better. How to use the DACOBS. We'll look at how to administer the tool, how to score it, and how to interpret the results. Then we'll look at its applications, advantages and limitations. Finally, we'll learn about the usage rights and the best way to access the tool. Using the tool is straightforward. It's a self-report that takes about 10 to 15 minutes. It can be administered using pen and paper method or online. It takes about 15 minutes to complete. Scoring. For each of the 42 items, scores are assigned as follows. 7 for strongly agree, 6 for agree, 5 for slightly agree, 4 for undecided, 3 for slightly disagree, 2 for disagree, 1 for strongly disagree. After scoring the items, we move to calculating subscale scores. Scoring involves summing the 1 to 7 ratings for the items in each subscale. First, let's look at the cognitive bias subscales. For jumping to conclusions bias, add scores for items 3, 8, 16, 18, 25, 30. For belief inflexibility bias, add scores for items 13, 15, 26, 34, 38, 41. For attention for threat bias, add scores for items 1, 2, 6, 10, 20, 37. For external attribution bias, add scores for items 7, 12, 17, 22, 24, 29. Now, let's look at the cognitive limitations subscales. For social cognition problems, add scores for items 4, 9, 11, 14, 19, 39. For subjective cognitive problems, add scores for items 5, 21, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Finally, for safety behaviors, add scores for items 23, 27, 31, 33, 35, and 42. Interpretation is key. You aren't looking for a pass-fail. You are looking for spikes. A higher score on specific subscales tells you exactly where to focus your therapy. The scores range from 6 to 42 for each subscale. Higher scores indicate higher propensity for the specific cognitive bias, limitation, or safety behaviors, as the case may be. For comparative analysis, especially where cultural impact might be present, you should use the norms applicable for the respondent's population. So, where do we use this? Primarily in clinical settings for formulation. It helps the therapist explain to a client why they are distressed. It is also fantastic for treatment monitoring. You can give it before and after therapy to see if you have successfully helped a client reduce their jumping to conclusions or safety behaviors. And of course, in research, it helps us understand the mechanisms of change in psychotherapy. We can also use it to understand the level of cognitive biases, cognitive limitations, and safety behaviors in a population. No tool is perfect. The DACOBS has huge advantages. It covers a wide range of relevant biases in one go, and it focuses specifically on mental health processes. And the biggest advantage is that it is extremely efficient and easy to administer. However, the limitation is inherent to the format. DACOBS covers a very small fraction of the identified cognitive biases and limitations and behaviors, hence the applicability is severely limited. And as with all self-report measures, there's risk of responses getting influenced by social desirability. Also, biases like external attribution or social cognition are heavily influenced by cultural norms. In some cultures, attributing events to external forces, fate, family, spirits, is a cultural norm, not a cognitive bias, which can complicate the interpretation of the score. Finally, the best news, access. The DACOBS is an open access instrument. The items are available in the appendix of the original 2013 publication in Schizophrenia research by Gaag and colleagues. Of course, if you plan to use any tool commercially in your clinical practice, please always verify the current copyright status and purchase the necessary license or kit to remain ethically compliant. With this, we come to the end of this session. Before you start using DACOBS in research or clinical practice, you may want to try out the DACOBS yourself. It's available completely free of cost in a free psychometrics library. For your convenience, the link is in the description below. Thank you for your attention. I hope this tool helps you better navigate the complex architecture of human thought. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments below.